So will ChatGPT ever be able to build from scratch applications like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or any of the thousands of applications that we currently use in businesses today? I'm going to say absolutely not. And the reason being is that to create a modern application, what you need to do is you need to use another application. So for example, if you are a coder, VS Code would be one, where you actually design and build your application. So if you imagine you've got VS Code open, what you'll do is you'll add probably thousands of files, all full of code. You'll add your screens in, and that IDE itself, VS Code, is constantly updated. So for something like ChatGPT to have to know to understand how to create an application, it would have to know up to the very last release of what changed in VS Code. ChatGPT took all of its intelligence from a year ago by basically trawling the internet, reading every blog article it can, every news article it can, and then it's been passed through some AI, so it's now become very intelligent. And what it does is very impressive. But it doesn't have live access to the internet, it doesn't have live access to the applications that we use to build applications. It just wouldn't know about the changes you put into the VS Code. The only way that something like that would happen is if the guys that wrote VS Code, Microsoft, put the AI directly in it and asked it to create the application for you, which is totally possible. But again, it's very, very complex. Another point is, any modern day application pretty much relies on other libraries of code that other developers have written, because it just saves us time. So there's no way you'd write every single thing from scratch. So what you do is you go onto open source repositories, you grab the code and you reuse other people's libraries. There's no point reinventing the wheel. These libraries are also updated daily, and ChatGPT would have to know how to go and grab that library and make it work with all the other code. And that's called a compiler when you're developing an application. So if you imagine, if it was possible, and I said to ChatGPT, go and create me a booking system, will you please? And I just typed it in, what it'd have to do is you'd have to say, right, I'm going to use this library, and I'd have to go grab all the library, and then you'd have to write all the code and then grab all the other libraries, put it all together, compile it, make sure it all works, test it to make sure it all tests properly, and then it would give you a download, of which then a human being would have to take that download, would have to probably put it into VS Code themselves, also compile it, and make sure that the people that wanted the application in the first place, make sure they're happy with it. And then they'd have to deploy it, and then they'd have to basically maintain it going forward. So 100% ChatGPT in its current guise will never be able to do that, because a lot of these applications where we do build modern day applications, they're all locked away. It doesn't know about them, so it wouldn't be able to even understand what changed, even if it did have a live feed. So for that reason, I don't think it's ever going to do it.